Hello everyone. In this question, it is given that if the equation cos x plus sin x is equal to y square minus y plus a has no solution in x and y, then we have to find the solution range of a. Okay, so it is given that the equation cos x plus sin x equal to y square minus y plus a has no solution in x and y. Okay, so these are two different curves, right? This cos x plus sin x. The first curve is of a trigonometric nature, right? It goes like this and this and this. Okay, this is the left hand side of this curve, cos x plus sin x. And the other curve, if I use a different color here, okay, this is a quadratic expression, right? So this is something like this. So for no solution, these two curves cannot intersect, right? And we have to find the value of a such that these two curves do not intersect with each other. Okay, so this is the question. So these are the two curves. So if I try to see each curve individually, this cos x plus sin x can be rewritten as if I multiply and divide by root 2, this becomes root 2 times cos x plus sin x upon root 2. So I can split these terms, right? So this will become 1 by root 2 times cos x plus 1 by root 2 times sin x. So this will become root 2 times sine, this is sine pi by 4, right? I can also write it as cos pi by 4, but this is same only. So this becomes sine pi by 4 cos x, and I can write it as cos pi by 4 sin x. So now this becomes root 2 times sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. So this becomes sine of a plus b, right? Now this cos x plus sin x now becomes equal to root 2 times sine of x plus pi by 4. Now sine of theta lies between plus 1 and minus 1. So this, since uh, minus 1 less than equal to this sine of theta, whatever the theta be, okay, therefore this value will lie between minus root 2 and plus root 2. So this means that this value was equal to cos x plus sin x, right? So this means that this lies between cos x plus sin x lies between minus and plus root 2, right? So this means that the highest value somewhere here, the peak, this is root 2. Okay, all the peaks are root 2 and all the lowest points here are minus root 2, anywhere here. My figure is not so good, but you get the idea, right? So this is it. So this is the first curve, this LHS. Now I will look at this quadratic curve. Okay, this quadratic curve is y square minus y plus a. Now since the coefficient of y square is positive, right, it is greater than 0, that's why it is a parabola which is open upwards. So for these curves, the lowest point is at the vertex, right? So if I compare it with, say, a y square plus by plus c, the lowest point will be at vertex which is given by minus b upon twice a. Okay, and in our case this capital A is 1, capital B is minus 1, and capital C is small a. Okay, so this now becomes minus of minus 1 since B is minus 1 here, and this is 2 times upon 1. So the lowest point of the vertex of the parabola is half. Okay, so the x coordinate of this curve is half. So let us find the y coordinate. Okay, So f of half, that is I am plugging this half in this expression. Okay, this will give me the lowest value of the curve. So this now becomes half square minus half plus a, and this becomes 1 by 4 minus half plus a. So this becomes half 1 by 4 minus half is minus 1 by 4. So this becomes a minus 1 by 4. Okay, so therefore this curve, this y square minus y plus a, okay, the lowest value is equal to a minus 1 by 4, and the highest value, see, it is open upwards, right? So there is no greatest value. Okay, this is equal to infinity as it is open upwards. It can take any amount of value. So okay, this is open upwards, so the extreme end is infinity. Okay, so this is the range. Now since these curves do not intersect, this implies that the greatest value for this curve, okay, the greatest value for cos x plus sin x must be smaller than the least value in the quadratic curve, right? Only in that case will this curve won't intersect, which will imply that there is no solution. If the curves intersect, this implies that there is a solution, right? They intersect. Since they do not intersect with each other, this means the greatest value of this trigonometric curve, this sine curve, sine cos curve, okay, the greatest value of this curve has to be smaller than the smallest value of this curve, right? And the greatest value of this curve is root 2, right? This is the greatest value. Greatest value is root 2, and the smallest value is this, okay, for the quadratic curve. So for no solution, greatest value of sin x plus cos x has to be smaller than the smallest value. For no solution means no intersection of curves. No intersection of curves. Smallest value of this quadratic curve, y square minus y plus a. Okay, so this implies that the greatest value of sin x plus cos x was root 2, right? This was the maximum value it could take. Okay, so this implies that root 2 will be less than this. The smallest value, which was at the vertex, vertex is the x coordinate of the vertex is half, and the y coordinate is a minus 1 by 4. Okay, so this means a minus 1 by 4 is the smallest value of this quadratic curve. So from here we get a minus 1 by 4 will be greater than root 2. So, and this implies that a is greater than 1 by 4 plus root 2. So this is the solution range. Okay, a has to be greater than this value, which is the required solution. And this value is approximately a greater than this. This is 1.41. This is 0.25, right? So this is approximately 1.65 something approx. Okay, so a has to be greater than this value. So solution range is this. Solution range of a is 1 by 4 plus root 2 to infinity. Because if a takes any of these values, this curve will just go upwards. Okay, they will not intersect. This quadratic curve will just keep on going upwards. And if you take any value which is less than this 1 by 4 plus root 2, if any value of a is less than this, then this curve will come downwards and it will intersect at some point with this trigonometric curve. Okay, and in those cases there will be a solution. But in the question it is given that there has to be no solution. So this curve has to go above this trigonometric curve, which happens if a is in this range. Okay, so this is it. Okay, I hope you understood the graph. My figure is not so clear, but it gives you the idea. Okay, so this is it. Thank you.